Dear friend, many of us believe that walking every day is enough to maintain our health after the age of 60. And to be fair, walking is gentle, easy to do, and doesn't require any special equipment. But have you ever found yourself feeling a little unsteady when rising from a chair? Or noticed, now and then, that your steps down the porch aren't as steady as they used to be? Even if you walk every day faithfully, your body may still slow down. Your reflexes may not respond as quickly, and that quiet, lingering sense of instability begins to make itself known. It's not because you're not doing enough. It may be because you're missing something walking alone can't provide. You're not the only one feeling this way. Many people in their 60s and 70s continue to walk regularly, but still struggle with muscle weakness, joint discomfort, loss of balance, and that constant, quiet fear of falling when no one's around. So perhaps it's time to pause and take a gentle, honest look. Are there movements that go deeper, not just keeping the body in motion, but helping us restore strength, flexibility, and a sense of control? The answer is yes. And the good news is, they're simple. You don't need a gym. You don't need fancy gear. All it takes is a sturdy chair, a familiar wall, or even a quiet corner of your backyard. These exercises are gentle, uncomplicated, but deeply effective, especially for a body that now needs more thoughtful care. If you're looking for a way to move that feels safe and helps you reclaim confidence in every step, stay with me in this video. I believe you'll find something truly helpful for yourself. There's one movement we've all done countless times, but most of us have done it without thinking. It's the simple act of sitting down and standing back up. From the kitchen chair we use every morning, the armchair in front of the TV, or the bench out on the porch where we quietly watch the afternoon light. But one day, something changes. You notice it's no longer as easy to rise from your seat. Your thighs tremble a little. Your knees feel tight. You press your hand down on the armrest to help push yourself up. And in that moment, you realize your body is sending you a message. It's asking to be strengthened, not with intense workouts or machines, but with the same familiar motions you already do, just done with care. The sit-to-stand movement, when practiced slowly and mindfully, can become a powerful foundation for stability in later years. It doesn't require any special equipment, no yoga mat, no music. Just a sturdy chair and a few quiet minutes to reconnect with your body. As you lower yourself gently, keeping your back straight, engaging your thighs and hips with intention, and then slowly rise back up. You are not just moving, you're restoring strength to your legs. You're bringing flexibility back to your knees and waking up the muscles that have carried you for a lifetime. What matters most isn't how many times you can do it, but how present you are when you do, to feel your body lifting itself to sense the return of control. Even in a small moment is a quiet but powerful reminder you're still capable. For those who've hesitated to sit on a low bench, worried they might not be able to get back up, this movement can restore more than muscle. It can restore confidence. Every time you stand up without grabbing for support, you're quietly reclaiming your independence. No one ever tells us that losing the ability to rise from a chair is one of the first signs of becoming dependent, but we feel it when we hesitate to leave the bed, avoid stepping into the tub, or choose not to sit down in a pew because getting up again feels uncertain. So if you choose to start today just a few repetitions in the morning or afternoon, you're not just doing a physical exercise. You're lifting yourself up. You're saying, I still have strength, I still have will, and I'm not ready to give that up. You don't need to do it many times. You don't need to rush. Just be consistent, and over time, your body will respond. The pain in your knees will soften, the trembling in your thighs will fade, and tasks like getting out of bed, using the bathroom, or stepping outside will begin to feel easier, day by day. If you're still listening now, I gently invite you to try it today. Just 3 slow, controlled sit-to-stand movements. Use the armrest at first if needed, then gradually reduce your support. Your body will remember how to help you as long as you give it the chance to move, safely and kindly. Have you ever thought of this exercise as a quiet way of caring for yourself, as a gentle conversation with your own legs? Give it a try. And if this has resonated with you, feel free to leave a comment below, just one word: steady. It can be your way of reminding yourself that strength begins again with the simplest things. And once we feel that renewed stability in our legs, we can move on to the next part of the body, the upper half, which also needs our care if we wish to stay balanced and steady from the inside out. There's a gentle way to keep your upper body strong and steady, and it starts with something as simple as a wall push-up. Do you remember when opening a heavy door or lifting a grocery bag from the car was something you barely noticed? Now, those same movements might make your arm tremble, your shoulder ache for hours, or your lower back tighten when you bend. The truth is, our upper body, including the shoulders, arms, chest, and core, is the foundation that allows us to remain independent in daily life. And just because we're no longer lifting heavy things like we once did, doesn't mean those muscles no longer need attention. Wall push-ups are a quiet way to keep that strength alive. No floor work, no straining, just you, gently leaning against a familiar wall, placing your hands at shoulder height, and moving your body forward and back slowly, steadily, as if having a conversation between your breath and your limbs. Each time you do this movement, you're sending a small message to your body: I still want strength in my upper frame. I still need it to carry a tray, to push off from a chair, to slip on a coat without stiffness or pain. What's wonderful about this exercise is that it places almost no pressure on the joints, no wrist strain, no back discomfort, just gradual endurance, better posture, and a growing ability to balance and stand tall. After 60, many begin to notice their back rounding forward, not because they want to, but because the body can no longer hold itself upright. By working gently on the upper body, you're not just restoring flexibility, you're restoring dignity in the way you stand and move, the posture that reflects how you carry your spirit within. Some may say, I don't need arm strength anymore. I'm not lifting anything heavy. But strength isn't always about lifting. Sometimes it's about holding yourself steady, stepping into a bathtub, holding your balance when the wind pushes against you, holding a kettle with confidence. And sometimes, as you move through this wall push-up, you'll feel something unexpected, a quiet sense of control returning. Even if your arms have weakened, even if your shoulders have once ached, your body still knows how to move in rhythm as long as you give it a chance. If you haven't tried this before, start gently. A few repetitions in the morning or evening, leaning against the kitchen wall or a hallway you pass every day. You don't have to count, just listen and stop when your body tells you that's enough. And if, over time, you grow more comfortable, try keeping your back straighter, your breath more even, or adding just a few more slow repetitions. No pressure, just patience and the quiet belief that each push forward gently pushes back against the weakness we fear. If you're still with me, I invite you to share your thoughts below. Have you felt your upper body growing weaker? Are you beginning to reconnect with the strength in your arms and shoulders? And once the body begins to awaken from the legs upward to the shoulders, we'll move on to a different kind of motion. One that doesn't ask us to stand or carry, but simply to sit and to let the legs rise quietly as a reminder, I still want to go further. There's an exercise so quiet, so simple, that we often forget how powerful it can be. It's lifting one leg while sitting still. Not every day gives us the energy to get up and move around. Some mornings are cold and the knees ache. Some afternoons, we'd rather stay seated than push ourselves to stand. And the older we get, the more we begin to understand that real strength doesn't always come from big, bold motion, but from the small, quiet movements done with patience, day after day. Seated leg lifts are one of those movements. When you sit upright on a sturdy chair, gently raise one leg, hold it for a few moments, and lower it with control. You're doing more than moving your body. You're reminding your legs, I still care about you. I still need you with me step by step. You don't need special equipment. You don't need extra space. Just you and a quiet moment in your day. This simple movement reaches the thighs, hips, and knees, areas often forgotten when we're no longer as active. It helps your blood flow more freely, eases stiffness from sitting too long, and slowly awakens the flexibility that used to come so naturally. As we age, just one wobbly attempt to stand can make us hesitant to move again. The fear of losing balance, the shaking legs, the knee that no longer holds steady. These are gentle calls from the body asking for care before things become more difficult. So instead of waiting for discomfort to grow, you can begin with something simple. Lift your leg while reading the paper, while listening to music, while waiting for the kettle to boil, a few times in the morning, a few in the evening. And if done regularly, these quiet repetitions can lead to quiet strength. Not everyone can jog. Not everyone wants to join a gym, but anyone at any age can begin by lifting one leg, then the other. Each lift is a whisper to your body that says, I still want to keep walking. I still want to stand strong in every step. The true value of this practice isn't in how hard it feels, but in how gently or steadily it brings life back into your legs. Every time you lift, you build resolve. You push back against the quiet stiffness that has slowly crept into the body. And in time, you will feel the difference. Your legs won't feel as numb. Standing becomes smoother. The heaviness in your thighs begins to lift. Some believe that after 70, the time for building strength has passed. But this is when the body needs our care the most, not through force, but through understanding. If you stay consistent, this small movement will return the favor with stability, with steadier steps, and with confidence when you rise from your seat. If you're still with me now, try it later today. Sit in your kitchen chair or out on the porch. Lift one leg, hold, lower. Then listen to how your body responds. Just one leg, just one moment. And if you try again tomorrow and the next day, that in itself is a quiet promise you're choosing to stay active, aware, and supported by the legs you still trust. Have you tried this before? Feel free to share below. Even one small comment like I'm starting can be a gentle reminder to yourself every movement, no matter how small, is worth honoring. And once your legs have been awakened from that seated place, you might begin to imagine more. Movements where the body is held by water, where joints are soothed and strengthened, a space where healing touches not just the body, but also the spirit. There's a kind of movement that is both gentle and profound, but often overlooked. It happens when the body relaxes into warm water and begins to move at its own slow, steady rhythm. Do you remember what that feels like? The moment you step into a pool or a warm bath, and the pressure in your knees, your back, or your hips seems to dissolve. The heaviness lifts, and movements that once made you hesitate now feel surprisingly easy. As we get older, we naturally grow more cautious. A slippery step, a flare-up in the lower back, that sharp twinge in the knee when stepping off a curb. These small moments add up, and before we know it, many of us begin to move less, sit longer, and slowly watch our health fade with the years. But movement doesn't have to be forceful to be meaningful. It can begin in stillness. And water, with its gentle resistance and quiet support, offers one of the safest, most comforting spaces to return to motion. When you walk through waist-deep water, each step is steadier, supported by the water's natural lift. When you move your arms beneath the surface, or gently turn your torso, your joints aren't compressed the way they are on land. And when your breath slows to match the water's calm rhythm, something begins to shift not only in your body, but in your spirit too. You don't need to know how to swim. This isn't about swimming laps like we did in younger years. Just walking through shallow water, raising a leg slightly, rotating your arms in smooth circles, tiny, thoughtful movements that create meaningful change because water pushes back gently from every direction. Training the body without adding weight or stress. The more you practice, the more you'll notice circulation improves. Swelling eases in the knees, ankles, or hands. Your heart rate steadies. Your blood pressure softens. Your breath deepens in rhythm with your movement. And then one day, you'll notice that it's not just your body that's healing, but your mind as well. Because water doesn't only hold your limbs, it holds your emotions. That quiet space with the soft splash of water, the gentle light, and the slow pace can feel like a refuge for a weary mind. You can go alone or join a water exercise class for older adults. There's no competition, no rush, just people, breathing, moving, and simply being together. The light laughter across the pool, the familiar good morning greetings in the cool air sometimes. Those are the moments that make a day feel whole. If you've never tried it, consider setting aside just 1 hour next week. Visit a nearby pool, a safe, shallow, and clean space. Step into the water slowly. Feel it embrace your body. Then try a few gentle movements. No pressure, no goal. Just see what your body has to say. See what it needs, and let the water help you move again, softly. If you're still with me, I invite you to leave a quiet note below. Even a single word water can be your way of marking the beginning of something meaningful, a journey of healing through ease, a return to movement without harm. And once the water has lifted your body, once your breath has softened into its quiet rhythm again, we'll move into one final practice where each gesture flows like a slow dance, a conversation between breath and stillness, bringing both body and spirit back to their deepest balance. There's a kind of exercise that isn't fast, isn't forceful, and never hurried, yet it brings a quiet strength to both the body and the spirit. It happens when you allow yourself to move with the slow rhythm of Tai Chi. The older we get, the more we understand this simple truth: what causes us to fall isn't always a strong wind or a big stumble. Sometimes, it's just a rush step, a sudden turn, a brief moment of dizziness that our body can no longer catch in time. And that's why, as we age, we need movements that do more than build muscle. We need practices that calm the mind. Tai Chi isn't just a physical routine. It's a quiet return inward, a slow weaving together of breath, motion, and awareness into something steady and deeply grounding. Every movement in Tai Chi is intentional. You're not swinging your arms carelessly. You're not stepping without awareness. You are guiding yourself gently, slowly, with full attention. To an outside eye, and it may look like a slow, quiet dance, but on the inside, it's a deep and steady training where every joint, every muscle, every breath is invited to awaken again. When you move slowly, you no longer avoid your weak spots. You begin to notice how your knees feel, whether your back is upright, if your feet are grounded or still a little uncertain. And from that awareness, you begin to adjust, not to perform, not to impress, but simply to live more gently with a body that is quietly changing with age. No loud music, no shouted instructions. Tai Chi unfolds in stillness, like a quiet conversation between you and yourself. The worries about falling, about weak legs, about losing flexibility, they begin to fade, and in their place, comes a quiet sense of control and a deep understanding of your own body. Just a few minutes each day in the backyard, at a park, or even in a small living room, you can begin with something simple. Shift your weight from one foot to the other. Gently turn your torso. Let your arms float with your breath. No pressure, no comparison. And then, slowly, you may feel something remarkable, that you're no longer being rushed by time. You're no longer trying to keep up with aging. You are choosing your own pace, each step slow but steady, each breath full of presence. Tai Chi doesn't ask you to be strong or flexible at the start. It only asks you to be present, fully present in each movement. And over time, that practice softens the mind, deepens your sleep, eases your fears, and lightens the spirit. Many begin Tai Chi for the exercise, but they stay, not because their body gets stronger, but because in the slowness, they find peace, a quiet acceptance of aging, a gentle reunion with themselves. If you're still with me, I invite you to try not a formal class, not a full routine, but simply to stand, take a slow breath, and reach one arm forward as if you're inviting calm to return. And if you've ever practiced Tai Chi or feel drawn to it now, feel free to leave a comment below. Even just one word, slow, can remind us all that slow doesn't mean falling behind. Sometimes, slow is stronger, more awake, more meaningful. After a lifetime of rushing, of doing, Of always keeping up, perhaps slowing down is the greatest gift aging has to offer, for those who are ready to listen and willing to cherish themselves again. Dear friend, at a certain age, we no longer search for something new or grand. Instead, we quietly hope to hold on to what's slowly slipping away, a body that moves with ease, legs that still feel steady, a pace of life that's slower, but still meaningful. Not everyone can do everything, but everyone can begin with just one small movement, a simple, steady act that reminds the body it's still being cared for, still being trusted. When you rise from a chair with intention, when you extend your arm on purpose, when you lift your foot slowly and gently, you're quietly saying to yourself, I'm still here. I still want to live each day in my own way. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be fast. It just needs you to be present, to listen to your body, to adjust with kindness. That is how we protect our health. That is how we keep our independence and the quiet trust we have in ourselves. If you've stayed with me until the end of this video, I believe you're ready to begin, not out of pressure, but from a place of understanding. And if something I've shared here has spoken to you, I gently invite you to leave a comment below, a thought, a quiet word like alive, or even just a soft hello. Sometimes, that's enough to remind one another that we're not walking this path alone. You might even want to send this video to someone who needs to hear it, because sometimes one small movement begun at the right moment can change a person's whole spirit.